Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This is your teacher Umara Shaheen. I hope and pray that all of you are fine. Our today's topic is codominance and determination of gender. Let's move to the learning outcome. Our today's learning outcome are: explain codominance by reference to inheritance of ABO blood group, that is the phenotype A, B, ABO, gene allele, and describe the determination of sex in humans, that is using XX and XY chromosomes. Now dear students, before going into the details of codominance using human ABO blood group system, first understand the concept of codominance using a simple example. Up till now you have learned two relationships between gene. One is the dominant and the other one is recessive, where if there is one dominant allele, it is completely surpassing the recessive allele. But this is not the case with codominance. There are many genes where both alleles are expressed in phenotype. Now this is a simple example. Look over here, there is one trait, that is red color flower. It is represented by a capital R, and there is another trait, small r, and it is represented by white flower. Now dear students, here you can see that the possible outcomes are a heterozygous condition, that is having both alleles, red and white. But red allele, it's not completely dominating the effect of white allele. So we are getting an intermediate result, that is having pink flowers. It means both the alleles, they are expressing themselves. Both are dominant to each other, and such relation is called the codominant. These alleles or genes are codominant. Now moving on to the human ABO blood group system example. First you need to understand that there are four type of blood groups in humans. There is A blood group, there is B blood group, then there is AB blood group, and there is O blood group. The genes of the blood groups, they are controlled by three alleles, and it is represented by I with A. Then we have I with B. Now one very important thing, that allele A, it is dominant to allele O, and allele B, it's also dominant to allele O. But allele A is not dominant to B, or allele B is not dominant to E. Rather, they are codominant. Both express themselves and they are codominant to each other. How we determine a blood group? ABO, according to ABO blood group system, blood group is determined by presence of a protein called antigen on the red blood cell. You're familiar with red blood cells. Their function is to carry oxygen, and if there is a specific antigen present on the red blood cell, it will determine the blood group of the person. If the red blood cell, it contains A antigen, it is called blood group A. If the person has the red blood cells having B antigen, the person will have blood group B. And if the person contains both the A and B antigen on the red blood cell, the blood group will be AB. And if the person, they don't have any antigen, it's actually zero. O means zero, there is no antigen, the person will have blood group O. These are the four blood groups. Now here you can see what are the genotypes and what are the possible phenotypes. This is the genotype. If the person is having both A alleles, the blood group will be A. Similarly, as allele A is dominant to O, so if one person contains one A allele and other O allele, the person will have blood group A. Same is scenario with the blood group B. The person is homozygous for B, the person will have blood group B. But if person is heterozygous, one allele is B and the other one is O, the B is dominant to O, so person will have blood group B. But the allele A and B, they are codominant to each other, and if one person has blood group A and the blood group A and B, it means the person has both the alleles, that is for A and for B. Both alleles, the heterozygous condition, and the blood group will be AB. And if both the person has both alleles, O alleles, the person will have blood group O. Allele O is coming from father, O is coming from mother, only then the person will have the blood group O, just like the recessive trait. Now Dear student, the next part of today's lesson is determination of sex or gender. Either you are a girl or you're a boy, you're a male or female, it is determined how. Today we will see this. Our gender is determined by sex chromosome. Here you need to understand one thing, that there are two types of chromosome. There are 22 autosome and the 23rd is sex chromosome. You have 23 pair of chromosomes. There is a 46 number. Humans have 46 chromosomes. They exist in the form of 23 pairs. Out of these 23 pairs, 22 are autosomes and 23rd pair is sex chromosome. And there are two types of sex chromosome. One is the X and other one is Y. Now this is the karyotype. We learned about karyotype in our previous lesson. This is just a diagrammatic representation of an individual's chromosome. If the person is female, they have 2 X chromosome in their 23rd pair. Or if the person is male, they have 1 X and 1 Y chromosome in their 23rd pair. And if you have to identify this by looking at the diagram, how are you going to do this? That you can see that first 22 pairs, they are same in both male and female. They are autosomes. But if you look at 23rd pair, you can see that in males, one is a larger X chromosome and the other one is a smaller Y chromosome. But in case of female, they have 2 X chromosomes. So this is how your sex or gender is determined with the help of sex chromosome. Now dear students, if you look at the genetic diagram, the one which we studied in our previous topic of Mendelian genetics, you will see that every time fertilization occurs, there is a random 50% chance of having a male child and a 50% chance of having a female child. Now we can calculate this using a genetic diagram. First we will write the phenotype of the parent. One is a male parent, other one is a female parent. Then we will write the genotype. If it's male, the genotype will be XY, and if it's female, the genotype will be XX. And then we will predict the possible outcomes, gametes. In case of gametes, in case of male, the gametes will be X and Y. In case of females, the gametes will be X and X. This is how we predict the possible outcomes. You can also use the Punnett square method, and you can see that the ratio of having a female child and a male child is 1:1. Theoretically, every time fertilization occurs, there is a 50% chance that person may conceive a male child or a female child. This is all from today's topic. Better go through the video, understand the concept. If you have any queries, you can ask. Thank you and best of luck. Allah Hafiz.